Talmud Bavli, Tractate Beitzah, page 33b, top of the page with the words Ochle Behema. We just started the Gemara with Rav Yehuda. Yehuda said, animal fought Ochle Behema, Ein Behem Mishum Tikun Kli. Animal fodder such as straw and reed branches does not have any associated prohibition due to the preparing of a vessel. One may therefore trim it on Shabbat and use it as one wishes. Rav Kahana raised an objection to Rav Yehuda from the following Beitzah. One may handle wood of a spice tree on Shabbat in order to smell them and to wave them before a sick person to fan him. And he may crush it between his fingers to release its fragrance, and he may smell it. However, he may not cut it from the branch in order to produce a moist spot on the branch that will emit a strong fragrance so as to smell it. And if he did cut it, he is exempt from punishment according to Torah law, but it is prohibited to do so. If he intends to clean his teeth with it, he may not cut it, and if he did cut it, he is liable to bring a sin offering for transgressing a prohibited labor on Shabbat. This indicates that although some wood of a spice tree was used as animal fodder, it is nevertheless prohibited to cut it. It is nevertheless prohibited to cut it. This appears to contradict Rav Yehuda. Rav Yehuda said to Rav Kahana, now, even the statement exempt but prohibited poses a difficulty, to my opinion, and it is not reasonable. It is required to say the opposite. Liable to bring a sin offering. This teaching cannot be understood at face value. Rather, it must be understood as follows. When that Beitzah was taught, it was referring to hard pieces of wood such as beams, with regard to which there is a concern that one might perform a prohibited labor. The Gemara questions this. And can hard branches be crushed by hand? The Gemara replies, the Beitzah is incomplete. Is incomplete and is teaching the following. With regard to wood of a spice tree, one may crush it and smell it and cut it and smell it. In what case is this statement said? With regard to soft pieces of wood, but with regard to hard ones, one may not cut them. And if he did cut it, he is exempt. But it is prohibited to do so. If he intended to clean his teeth with it, he may not cut it, and if he did cut it, he is liable to bring a sin offering. Similarly, it is taught in one Beitzah, one may cut it and smell it, and it is taught in another Beitzah, one may not cut it to smell it. Rabbi Zera said, Rav Chisda said, this is not difficult. In this case, when it is permitted, it is referring to soft wood. In that case, when the Beitzah prohibits it, it is referring to hard pieces of wood. With regard to the halacha itself, Rabbi Acham Bar Yaakov strongly objects to this with hard ones. Why not? In what way is this case different from that which we learned in a Mishnah? A person may break a barrel in order to eat dried figs from it, provided that he does not thereby intend to make a vessel. And he may use the barrel afterward. Breaking off wood in order to smell it is certainly not more of a prohibited labor than breaking a barrel. And furthermore, it is Rava bar of Adah and Ravin bar Rav Adah who both say, when we were at the house of Rav Yehuda, he would break and give us many sticks of wood of a spice tree, although they were hard enough to be fit for handles of axes and hatches. Lo kashya. The Gemara answers, this is not difficult. This case is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, whereas that case follows the rabbis. As it is taught in a Beitzah, Rabbi Eliezer says on Shabbat or a festival, a person may take a sliver of wood from before him to clean his teeth with it. And the rabbis say, one may take a toothpick only from an animal's trough. Since it is fit for animal fodder, it is considered prepared for all purposes, and they agree that he may not pluck it. And if he did pluck it, to clean his teeth with it, or to use as a key to open a door, to pick a lock with it. I had to say that. The key to pick a lock with it. They say open a door or whatever. By the way, in English Gematria, key is the same value as lock. That's very interesting. 41. 41 connects key with lock. I don't think that's an accident. Rabbosai, I don't think it's an accident. Key to open a door with it. If he did so unwittingly on Shabbat, he is liable to bring a sin offering. If he did so intentionally on a festival, he receives the 40 lashes. The 40 minus 1 exactly. Administered to one who desecrates the festival by performing labor. These are the words of Rabbi Eliezer. V'chachamim omrim. And the rabbis say both this and this, whether one did so on Shabbat or on a festival, even if he plucked it by hand, to use as a key, it is prohibited only due to rabbinic decree. Therefore, Rabbi Eliezer, who states there that one who plucks a toothpick on Shabbat unwittingly in order to make a vessel, such as a key, liable to bring a sin offering, then here, it's also king. King is also 41. The good king is the key of David. A David. Good, key, king. A David. To bring us an offering, then here, in the case of one who cuts a sliver of wood, silver of wood, the silver crisis, it's artificial probably, silver of wood, in order to smell it, he is exempt, but it is prohibited. However, the rabbis who state there in the case of plucking a toothpick, that plucking a toothpick, that's so niche, man. Plucking a toothpick. 211. Plucking a toothpick. So deep. So deep. Plucking a toothpick. Plucking a toothpick. That's a good one, man. Plucking a toothpick. And he is exempt, but it is prohibited. Then here, when one cuts a silver of wood, for purposes of smelling, it is permitted. Ab initio. The Gemara asks, and does Rabbi Eliezer not accept this halakha? You know what, I'm going to do it just for kicks. And does Rabbi Eliezer not accept this halakha that we learned in a Mishnah? A person may break a barrel in order to eat dried figs from it. Provided that he does not thereby intend to make a vessel. This shows that if one does not intend to make a vessel, it is permitted ab initio, whereas Rabbi Eliezer maintains that he is exempt, but it is prohibited. The Gemara answers, Rav Ashi said, when that Beitzah was taught, its lenient ruling was with regard to a vessel patched with pitch, meaning a vessel that had previously been broken. This is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Been broken and its pieces glued together with pitch. If one breaks it for his own needs, he does not smash a complete vessel, and he is therefore not considered to have fashioned a vessel. It is taught in the Mishnah, and one may collect straw from the courtyard on a vessel, on a festival, on a festivus, which is December 23rd, according to Seinfeld. Does anyone here remember that episode, by the way? Festivus? The sages taught one may collect materials from a courtyard and kindle a fire, because everything in a courtyard is considered prepared, provided he does not arrange it in piles. And Rabbi Shimon permits it, even in such a manner. The Gemara asks, with regard to what do they disagree? What is the basis of their dispute? One sage, the rabbis who are stringent, holds it looks as though he is collecting for tomorrow and another day, and it is therefore prohibited so that one will not be suspected of preparing from a festivus to a weekday, a festival to a weekday. And one sage, Rabbi Shimon, holds his pot proves his intention. When onlookers see that he is using the straw for cooking, they will not suspect him of preparing for after the festival. It is taught in the Mishnah that one may not produce new fire on a festival in any manner. The Gemara asks, what is the reason for this? The Gemara explains, because he creates something new on a festival. This is similar to an act of creation, and it is therefore prohibited. The Mishnah states that one may not whiten tiles by heating them in order to roast food on them. The Gemara asks, what does one thereby do? Since his intention is to prepare food, how does this differ from any other manner of roasting? Rabba bar Chana said that Rabbi Yochanan said, here we are dealing with new tiles, and it is prohibited because